Welcome to the PTA Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, John Calagere, and come with my co-host, Nick Kelling. Nick, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing excellent.
I'm glad you're doing excellent. We're doing a little AM recording this morning, so we'll get right to it. We got a nice clip about insurance. We can go from there.
Insurance company State Farm has decided they won't accept new applications for property in California.
They know the risk is just too high to be actuarially sound for their business.
There are companies saying there are too many buildings being destroyed by catastrophes, inflation is making it too expensive to rebuild, and they can't protect their investments any longer.
As that risk increases, so does the cost of insuring those assets that people have on hand.
But without homeowners insurance, many homeowners can find themselves in big financial trouble.
I've been trying to find another insurance. I had one company step up and said they'd do it for $12,000 a year. I go from $2,000 to $12,000. Yeah, we would have to move. There's no way.
But selling the home might not even be possible.
The moment that an individual gets a non-renewal letter from the private insurance market, they essentially lose 12% of their property value.
It's not just California. Louisiana and Florida are contending with similar issues due to flood risk. The nation's largest homeowners insurance company.
So that kind of clip just breaks down how not global warming, but how natural disasters can contribute to real estate troubles, especially in California and Florida, two markets that are notorious in the past 5 years for being very profitable. Because I know you could have a shack in California and LA and be like $7 million. In Florida, everyone and their mother is moving there.
Yeah. And I mean, insurance, it's not just a housing problem right now. I mean, it's vehicles, it's insurance in every industry went up just this past year and a half. I just sold the house and getting them insurance, and their insurance was $1,000, $3,000 more than what they were paying at their old house that I also sold. All I did was move south a couple miles, and they were ended up in they moved from a green zone into a red zone. So the flood insurance was,
crazy.
It's crazy. And then, I mean, California, I've heard about the California and State Farm pulling out of a lot of areas. And these bunch like small time insurance companies are coming into markets like Florida, the Houston area, places in Texas with fires, and to stay afloat, they can't charge the lower rates that like Allstate or State Farm was charging. They're charging 3-4 times more because that's just how they can stay afloat. It's not like they're gouging you on purpose. It's just they'll be losing money if they don't.
And if it's a high risk area, it's a high risk area.
Yeah, and then a lot of these places are only going to high risk areas because there's a demand, but the demand is still, I'm going to charge you a lot of money.
Yeah, especially if you know in California, because since we were growing up, California's been on fire. I feel like it's been on fire my entire childhood.
Yeah, I can't remember a time that California hasn't been on fire. Something on the news about. I think we flew over California once while we were in the service on a government flight, and you could see the fire, or at least like off in the distance.
Yeah,
that was a thing. Or like we had to add time or something because we were flying around it.
I think you were recalling when we went to Bridgeport.
Bridgeport, yeah.
I do recall those Smoky Mountains. They were. It was good to go training for sure. But I do think this kind of is going to open up the door for the smaller insurance companies to kind of thrive, because like right now in a lot of industries, it's only the big boys that are around. They kind of, since I know everyone's like COVID, but since COVID, all the small mom and pop shops are kind of closing their doors because of due to inflation and due to higher costs. The bigger players kind of forcing the sole proprietors and the other shops out. So we could, like, this is a bad thing, obviously, for the single homeowners not being able to have insurance on their homes and the prices increasing. But this does open up the door for the smaller players, which me and you are both like more of a fan of, to come to the market. especially
most definitely.
if these bigger insurance companies, they just eye gouge you left and right everywhere.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
about
Well, in an insurance company, they're so big that they don't really need to take those high risks. So I go through the insurance gal at Allstate, and if Allstate won't take it, Allstate will broker that insurance company that insurance out. So they'll contact 12 different insurance companies that will do those high risks. If they don't, and we'll get the person insurance through a different company.
Yes, and it's kind of tough now, especially in America, where I believe you have to have, I believe it's law that you have to have insurance on your
Yes, you have to.
I
So
know insurance you have to have it. I'm assuming it's the same for home insurance as well.
so home insurance, you have to have it because the bank forces you to have it.
Okay,
If you own it outright, you don't have to have insurance.
that is true, because in all the loans I've read, that is one of the qualifications for them getting a home equity is
Mhm.
your insurance form. So yes, that's correct.
But if you own your house outright and you want to take risk of not having insurance, go for it. But most
Yeah.
people still keep it on.
But that one lady in the video, she said it was $12,000. That's basically a mortgage. That's $1,000 a month. You got to pay,
Yeah, that's crazy.
and you
I
get no.
haven't seen that in Houston, even in like high flood zones. So I can't imagine like why that would be like.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's crazy. Those fires be getting you.
Yeah, just everything about California just makes me so happy that I do not live there.
Oh yeah. If you live in California, you know who we're talking about. Get out. Leave.
Run
Run.
as fast as you possibly can.
You just got to go a little east. Keep going east of Texas.
Yes. Well, how far is it from Texas to California?
Probably 2 days, 3 days if you drive straight and just don't stop.
That's not too shabby.
Yeah, it takes a full day just to drive from the east side of Texas to the west side of Texas. So that's definitely a bigger span than it is from the border of Texas to the coast.
Yeah. Nick, do you have anything else you would like to add to the episode?
No, insurance is a big part of buying a house, really buying anything. Definitely don't forget about it, because a lot of people do forget about it. They're looking for a house. Their realtor, whatever, will be talking to them like, hey, insurance is a big thing. Once we get this under contract, once everything's signed, after an option period, when we have a date to close, hey, start working on your insurance. And there's a lot of other things that you have to be worried about too. But insurance is always one of them that people forget, because they think about, oh, I got to put the water on. I got to get my power going. I got to set up gas if you have a gas line. And people then just forget about insurance and the bank, that they're weighed on that. They need that. So that's something that you need to take care of. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, when you're buying a house, definitely call your lender. They'll definitely be hyping on you for getting that insurance, because they're needed for the loan.
Your realtor, whoever you're working with, definitely has someone in their network that they would advise you to as well. So
yes,
if you don't,
like I said, I have my Allstate lady. I recommend her, and they can definitely broker that deal out to someone if they can't cover it. So get
and
in
also,
contact with whoever they recommend, and you're going to get insurance.
yes. And word to the wise, just if you're in the market for anything, say you're in the market for a home and you need a lender or you need insurance, go to someone in your first point of contact, and then they probably will have someone for you. So
Yeah.
when everything's like 12 steps away, no, you're really 1 degree of separation from whatever you need, especially when you work with a professional like Nick. And I think that's one kind of current theme of the pod, of like how realtors are a need in real estate. And I think that's one of the prime examples of how they're very beneficial, because you're one person away. You're like the nexus point between the person formulating the mortgage and the person buying the mortgage, because you have contacts to everyone involved, from the loan underwriter, from the banker to the insurance person, as well
There's
as
a lot of moving parts.
so that's why I don't think you guys will ever go away.
No,
Thank-
and for the buyer side, as for now, hey, the listing, the person who's selling the house is paying the real estate agent. The buyer is not. So
Yeah.
it's an absolutely free thing, and they have a lot of information. They'll find you the house. They'll walk you through the steps.
Yes.
A lot of people just want to test the waters, talk to a realtor, talk to a bunch of them, interview a bunch of them. I can bypass that system. I work with one of the biggest companies. I've worked for one of the biggest companies. If you're interested in finding a competent realtor anywhere in the country, I can definitely find that for you so you can expedite the process.
Yes. And please follow us on all of our socials. God bless. Have a good rest of your day.